Let's do
All right,
it.
today we're going to be covering the Cleveland Browns. For those of you that are new to the show, welcome in. Glad to have you here. What we're doing all summer long is taking one team a day. Right now we're in the AFC North. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns. We recap real briefly what they did last season, how their season ended, and then we go through their offseason transactions, including NFL draft picks. Who'd they lose? Who'd they gain through free agency, new coaching, any of that kind of stuff, salary cap issues, headlines that happen in the offseason, all that kind of stuff, just because there's a lot that goes on in the offseason. And it's like you forget, oh, yeah, that guy ended up signing with the Browns. Oh, yeah, the Browns ended up trading for that guy. Or, oh, that guy left the Browns, stuff like that. And then we'll go and play guest lines and look at their 2024 season and then take a look at the betting market and see, hey, what's going on in the betting market with this team? What do the bettors expect from this team this year? And do we agree? Bear says the only bad thing in that scenario is the Coors Light. Y'all need to drink Guinness. Yeah, but I mean, Guinness, that's heavy, man. That's heavy. Got Doc says cigars and chicken for the win. That's right. That's right.
I was thinking the same. And that Guinness, that's that meat potato beer, bro. I don't feel like I had me a whole meal if I drink a couple of those.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I wouldn't say no. It's just got to be special occasion though.
Yeah. Yeah, them Guinness will get you a buzz real quick.
They will. So the Browns last year had a pretty good season, Cricket. Almost won the division, not quite. Ended up finishing 11-6. Finished strong, winning 4 of the last 5 games of the season. Could not beat them Bengals though, which was kind of shocking. I can't remember. I don't think that Week 18. I think that Week 18 game was meaningless.
I think it was too. I'm pretty sure they already had it locked up. Like they were gonna have to travel to Houston.
They were going to be the wild card team, right? Yeah. So they finished 11-6. But this goes to show a lot of coaches still like to play their starters and treat it like, I mean, Belichick still likes to keep his starters out there and just keep the routine of things because, as you can see, they lost here and they got shellacked in Houston, 45-14. Now, this game was, from what I remember, I think at one point it was 14-14. I think it was close in the second quarter, and then Houston just ran away with this thing. But still, it just goes to show that, hey, maybe taking this Week 18 off, not the best idea.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I think Houston was going to beat them anyway. They were just playing better ball at that point in time. That's why we got so pissed off that they gave Stefanski the coach of the year because we thought it should have went to D'Amico Ryans after he went out there and played him head to head and just smacked him in the mouth.
He sure did. But he sure did. And then, last year, the big news with Cleveland last year was it was the Joe Flacco resurgence. Comeback player of the year, leading these teams to big wins, throwing 307 yards in a playoff game where they got blown out.
yeah. That comeback player of the year award still should have went to Baker, but great resurgence by Joe.
What happened? What happened to Deshaun? Hurt his shoulder again or something, right?
Deshaun?
Yeah.
Probably tore his cervix. Freaking bum.
Oh man,
That's a bum, dude. A freaking bum. I'd rather have Jameis Winston right now.
Yeah, because he'll give you a good pep talk, dude.
That's what I'm saying. At least that guy's positive.
Well, the Browns, let's get into their transactions. Flacco is no longer his name. What's Flacco? Flacco's on the Colts now?
Yep.
He is?
Yep. Yeah, he's a Colt.
He's a Colt. Let's see what happened in the offseason for them. They named Andy Dickerson offensive line coach. That's probably the biggest move they could have made. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding with you. Yeah. Taking a look at some of this stuff. Did any of these signings or they re-signed Jerry Jeudy to a 3-year contract extension after they traded for him, right? Where's that trade at?
He traded. He came from the Broncos. They had a trade with the Broncos, and then I don't know if they restructured that deal or not. But yeah, Jerry Jeudy coming over from the Broncos there.
Yeah, they gave a 5th and a 6th round draft pick to Denver, and then just 10 days later, they re-signed him to a new 3-year contract extension. That's a bold move, Cotton, because Jerry Jeudy has been very underwhelming in the NFL.
Absolutely has. Disappointed a little bit there. As a guy I was high on coming out of college and is not really panned out in my opinion. I mean, not a bad player, but hasn't done what we expected from him. Quentin Jefferson coming over from the Jets there to help provide some depth on that interior defensive line. You got Devin Bush coming in from the Seahawks. at the linebacker position there. So a couple key pieces to help bolster that defense and make it even better than it already was right there. An interesting one for me, you know, they did re-sign Nick Chubb and re-sign Zadarius Smith for the defensive side of the ball, but to bring in Deontay Foreman from the Bears to help provide some depth at running back, not knowing what you're going to get out of Chubb coming back from that pretty gruesome knee injury last year. So I think
that was also big news last year. Ruined my fantasy. Man, I had Christian McCaffrey and Nick Chubb on the same team.
Yeah, bro.
There was that league that I didn't realize that we had to draft quarterbacks.
Right. The 2 QB league.
Let me say that it was a 2 QB league. I was wondering why the hell is everyone taking a QB in the first round? Oh, that makes sense. But it didn't matter because I was still beating people left and right with just the powerhouse of my running backs. And then Nick Chubb, gruesome knee injury. He's back squatting 500 pounds and whatnot. So he looks like he's going to be good to go. I think they gave him a contract extension too, like just to secure, let him know that they're going to take care of him. And so we'll see how he does. But that was big news. And then they, as we were talking about, they signed Jameis Winston, who is already worth every penny of his contract. Yeah. With his nursery rhyming out there.
Love Jameis,
give a dog a bone.
Love Jameis. Jameis is another one kind of like Frank the Tank Man that I was not very high on back in the day when he was stealing crab legs and all that stuff. And I've completely about faced and took the other side for Jameis.
He's really just accepted his role.
Right.
Most first round draft picks, number 1 overall draft picks, right, would be like, you know, their career doesn't go the way they want it to go.
They pout.
They kind of just fizzle off out of the league. Not Jameis. Jameis says, listen, I'm gonna get some LASIK and I'm just gonna accept that I am a backup quarterback. This is my new role. And I'm gonna cash $8 million checks every single year.
He's been watching the espresso shop, bro. He knows that backup quarterback's the best job in sports.
It is the best job, dude. It is.
He's like, that's right. I'll take it. Hey, speaking of a little other football news this morning, it's off topic, but it's with the Lions. You see where Jahmyr Gibbs hurt his hamstring yesterday?
No, he did.
Apparently, he had a little a hamstring thing going on. So we know what those hammies are, man. Those hammies those things can linger all year long. So I just selected Jahmyr Gibbs as one of my keepers in the one league we do, the $100 league, man. But I may have to rethink that, man. I got some other options there. I can't trust the guy with a sore hammy, man.
I forgot we have that draft coming up, and I got to cut players and whatnot, right?
Yep. It's fantasy football time, man.
This is the best time of the year for that dynasty league because this is where you get to make moves and all that stuff and the arbitration and whatnot. I got to do that. But yeah, so they restructured his contract. That's what it was. Let's see what his actual contract is.
Talk about Nick Chubb?
Yeah. Let's see. They restructured. So now it's basically, it's a 1 year. See, it's a good deal for everyone. It's like, listen, Nick, you get to stay here where it's home. We're taking a discount because we have no idea what you're going to be this year, but we're going to give you a guaranteed, $2 million, right? You're going to get $2 million, which if you end up being the running back that we think you could be, like you have been, we get you at a really good discount. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Still a cap hit of 6.2, but they basically gave him an extra $2 million just to be like, hey.
I like seeing franchises do this, man, for people that have put it out there on the line for him and all that. Good morning, AK.
Yeah, because he was under a 3-year, $36 million deal.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad he got a little more money there. AK
says so he was earning a base salary of $11.7 million while carrying a cap hit of 15.8 and a dead cap of 4. So basically what they did was they scrapped this contract. They still had to account for $4 million because that was the dead cap. So he's not getting his $12 million. Instead, he's getting a guaranteed $2 million, and then that's why they also have the $6 million cap hit because of the $4 million that they still had to account for from the previous contract. I think it's fair. I mean, if he didn't get injured, yeah, of course you're worth your $12 million and all that stuff. He probably wouldn't be on the team anyways because they probably would have had to cut him because of the cap hit. So it's like, hey, we're not going to extend you. We're going to just give you guaranteed money, let you rehab, and we're going to take care of you. We're going to take care of you.
Absolutely.
Speaking of taking care of you, Millie Goats in the house. What up, AK? He says, I'm so sick of hamstring neglect in the NFL. Enough. Wow. I know this was since the
load the hamstrings and Also says Chubb squatting 600 pounds is exactly what he needed to do at the time of his rehab. So everyone calm down. You right, sir. We
talked about it. I said how you came on here and you broke it down for us, and I was like, okay, all
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
That's why we bring
AK,
AK on here, man.
that's
The
right.
guy knows.
AK is our guy for all things injuries, man.
Yeah, and nicknames.
And absolutely for nicknames. Dad jokes. All
Let's see.
I don't really see anything else that really sticks out to me in this.
What do you mean they signed place kicker Dustin Hopkins to a 3-year contract extension? Let's go. We
talked about that. That was good for him. We love seeing kickers get paid right there. They did bring Jordan Hicks over from the Vikings. That's more depth there. Tyler Huntley comes over, backup QB role for the Ravens, but he's got to be like third or fourth string on this depth chart. So that doesn't really matter there. I don't see anything outside of that really raises an eyebrow.
Let's see. They are first with salary cap spending. But somehow they have 28 million in cap space still. Riddle me that. I have no idea. how they did that.
Yeah, I don't know how that works either.
No wonder they could afford to sign Ayuk. But
true.
Some of their big cap hits this year, obviously, is Deshaun Watson. Always going to be a big cap hit.
Boom.
Myles Garrett, worth every penny. Denzel Ward. Joel Bitonio. Okay.
They ought to be paying Dustin Hopkins more than Deshaun Watson.
What?
Max. So they ought to be paying Dustin Hopkins more than Deshaun Watson.
That's true. Njoku getting his $9.6 million.
Love that guy. What a
they're making some money. And then Zadarius Smith. Oh yeah, they got Zadarius Smith there. Man, I'm telling you, this team is a complete team, man. Like
they're good, bro.
All Deshaun Watson has to do is just play competent football.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. He's not collecting $8 million checks. He's collecting 1.7. Still easy money.
Easy money for just hanging out. Not to mention growing his social media platform by the thousands.
Yeah. Let's see. Browns draft picks. Let's get into the Cleveland Browns and their draft picks this NFL draft. Let's see. They did not have a first round pick because that was part of that Deshaun Watson deal. It was the Deshaun Watson trade finally came complete with Houston. Houston got a haul.
You know what I'm saying? They should feel good about that. That's what you get.
With the greatest defenses Cleveland does have and all those great defensive players, they still in the second round decide to go out and 54th overall take Michael Hall Jr., defensive tackle out of Ohio State. Tell me about this guy.
Yeah, big guy, 6'3", 290 there. Help once again bolster some of that defensive line there, which already was really good. He didn't run at the combine, but reportedly had a really good pro day workout there. He's explosive on the tape. He's got good, quick, active hands. He can slip blocks. He's got a good first step with the quickness there in the backfield to get into the backfield there. So, a guy that went probably a few spots higher than I expected him to go. But right here, middle to late second round is probably about where you should have had him. I thought he would probably slip to the early third round or so. The 65th ranked overall player here, but did have a grade of 80 and the number 7th ranked DT. So not a bad spot right here. You don't have to risk too much on this guy. And he's played a lot of big time ball at Ohio State. So yeah, not a bad pick.
Bear, I know how that goes. Also trying to convince my wife that I'm bad at golf because I need new irons. Let me know how that works out for you, buddy.
Yeah.
In the third round, they ended up taking a guard out of Michigan, Zach Zinter, big boy. When I hear a guard out of Michigan named ZZ, Zach Zinter, he sounds like a Cleveland Brown.
I mean, that does sound like a Cleveland Brown to me, man. 6'6", 309 at the guard position right here. He's really a punishing guy in the run game. He's been part of that Michigan offensive line that's been one of the best in college football for the past 2 or 3 seasons now. Played a lot of games up there for the Wolverines, obviously national champion now. So another guy, I like seeing him work on these lines on both sides of the ball right here. And this is a guy, like I said, that can play the game, man. So probably step in. I don't know if he'll be an everyday starter right off the rip, but definitely will provide some depth on that offensive line. He's got
championship experience too. Cleveland needs that. And then look at that. Not much, man. Not many draft picks they got. And then the 5th round pick. We're gonna go through these quick. 5th round pick. Jamari Thrash, wide receiver out of Louisville. 6th round pick. Nathaniel Watson, linebacker out of Mississippi State. 7th round pick. Miles Harden, cornerback out of South Dakota. And a 7th round pick. Jawan Briggs, defensive tackle out of Cincinnati. Not many draft picks for these guys, or high draft picks.
Yeah, not at all, man. Not at all.
Any of those names stand out to you?
I like Jamar Thrash a little bit, the receiver out of Louisville there. He did lead Louisville in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns his only season there last year. Got good quick feet that he can win on the release and separate himself in some one-on-one coverages. So 6 foot 188, a little smaller than I would like there, but that's one that really sticks out for me because I did see that guy make some plays last year.
Bear says it's not going well so far. Something about having to get ready for the new kid or some kind of BS like that. I know, man. And imagine when I had to deal with we got 2 on the way. It was like, man, I can't do anything. I was surprised I got key lime pie for my birthday.
Right? That's a good expensive to make, man.
Oh boy,
kids will rain on your parade, man. The new one's coming and all that.
Yeah,
you realize you're not number 1 anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I ever claimed number 1, but I got close. I was a close second. All right.
Yeah, that's fair, man. 1A, 1B, and all that.
All right, let's talk about the upcoming 2024 schedule. And what we like to do is play Guess the Lines. So for those of you new, we take the lines out of DraftKings because they've got they're not a sponsor, but they've got all the lines up for every game all season long. And what we like to do, man, I was on a hot streak yesterday. Let's see if we can keep that going. But what we like to do is try to see how many exactly right I can get. I'm feeling good today.
I'm thinking exactly 2.
On my birthday, man.
On your birthday, man. On your birthday, I think you might be a little too hyped, man. A little overconfident.
Is it because I've only had 1 cup of coffee?
That's right. 1 cup of Peaberry.
All right. They open up against Dallas. Oh God, I remember the week 1 opening line. I don't know what it's moved since then. This game, we're going to be talking about this game a lot, and I'm probably the most excited for this game because this is the Tom Brady game. He's back. He's returning. He's in the booth. Let's go. Dallas, Cleveland, home for Cleveland here. Dallas, I'm just going to go with what I remember it was. It was a 1-point favorite.
Cleveland Browns -2 at home against the Cowboys.
Cleveland's now favorite. Okay, because it opened Dallas -1.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have, you know what I should have thought about? Because the uncertainty of CeeDee Lamb.
That's what it is, man. That's why the Cowboys lines are moving right now because they don't know if that man's going to be there.
I mean, I agreed with it that it should be Cleveland should be the favorite in this game. So when I saw Dallas -1, I was like, it should probably be Cleveland -1. And then you got a little tick up there from the CeeDee Lamb issues. Even if he comes back, I don't think he needs much practice or timing with Dak.
No practice.
But you would like to. It's preferable.
You always want them to see. I feel like that line's closer to being right now. I felt like it was a little off with the Cowboys favoring that spot. They were one of the best teams at home last year, man. The Browns were.
Oh yeah.
So
and not just record wise, but like giving up the least amount of points.
Yeah, I don't think they should be a dog in any home game.
Yeah. Then they got to go out to Jacksonville. This one's interesting. So out to Jacksonville. God, it just depends on how I can't remember how hyped up the market is for Jacksonville, but
we haven't done them yet.
We haven't.
No.
But I don't feel like this is hard because I don't feel like the market is as high on the Browns as I am this season. Shout out to Buku. But I think the Browns are going to be a really tough out. But I'll go Browns -1.
Browns +1 at the Jaguars.
I was either going to go Jacksonville -1 or Browns -1, but I was like, I don't know if the market respects Jacksonville enough for that, but they do. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, then they're home against the Giants. Oh, we did this one, and I was like, there's no way. Browns. This one's Browns -1.
Browns -6.5 at home against the Giants.
Nope, I'm completely off on that one. I was psyching myself out. I need to quit thinking about the previous streams.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds right. Browns -6.5. There we go. Look at that. 3 road games in a row. That is crazy. So they have 4 out of 5 weeks they're on the road. That is not easy. But then guess what? They basically get to be home for a month because they got 3 home games and a bye week after that. That's crazy. Scheduling and stuff like that matters. People don't think about it. Like when you're betting season long stuff, you got to look at the schedules and see where if they have anything that's not favorable to them.
Yep. You do.
You got to go out to Vegas. I'm gonna say the Browns -2.
Browns -2.5 at the Raiders.
Hook 'em. Get 'em. Then they get a fly out to Washington, take on the Commanders. I'm gonna say, oh God, we did this one too. I'm gonna say Browns -3.
Browns -3 at the Commanders.
Ding ding
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding.
Ding,
There's
ding,
one
ding.
of them.
And then they get to go take on Philadelphia Eagles -2.5.
Browns +3 at the Eagles.
Ooh, okay. Then home against Cincinnati. This is gonna be a fun one. Is that their first division game of the season?
I believe it is.
Yeah, okay. First division game of the season. They get back-to-back division games. Home games for them. Browns minus. God, this has got to be. I think the market's they're way too high on Cincinnati, just based off the division odds. I'm gonna say Browns -1.
Bengals -1 at the Browns.
That is disgusting, man.
Like I said, the Browns should not be.
Division game
Yeah.
between these two teams, and you're gonna say that the away team's the favorite? That's not right.
The Browns shouldn't be dogs at home.
They should not be. Okay. And then home against Baltimore -2.5.
Browns +1 at home against the Ravens.
They're going to say the Ravens and the Bengals are equal.
That's what they're saying.
Get out of here.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying right now.
Get out of here with that BS. All right. And then home against the Chargers, Browns -3.
Browns -3 at home against the Chargers.
Ding, ding, ding. There we go. There you go. Oh, my mom's wishing me a happy birthday.
That's right.
Mom.
Shout out to Mama Will.
Bye week. Then they get a bye week. I think they're going to win that one. And then they go on the road to New Orleans. I'm going to say Browns -2.5.
Browns -2 at the Saints.
Oh, the hook again.
Indeed, sir.
And we got Thursday Night Football, their last home division game of the season. They got the Steelers coming to town. I'm going to say the Browns -3.5.
Browns -3 at home against Steelers.
Oh, that hook. Son of a biscuit. Eating bulldog. All right. Home against Kansas City. Let's see. This one's going to be weird because I'm going to be so mad when I hear
you didn't do Denver, man. You didn't do Denver.
The game doesn't matter. At Monday Night Football, Denver, man, they got 11 days off there. Thursday to Monday game right there. At Denver, I'm going to say Browns -3.5.
Browns -3.5 at the Broncos.
Ding, ding, ding. Let's go. Okay. See, in my mind, I knew I was going to get that one right, so I just chalked.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Then they got to go to.
You skipped 2 games.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. I was talking about the Pittsburgh game. You confused me.
About Kansas City, and you skipped over Denver and Pittsburgh, man.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing there. Anyway, we're at Pittsburgh.
Oh, it's because I saw Pittsburgh here, and then all right. So now we're at Pittsburgh, playing Pittsburgh twice in 3 weeks. It was Browns -2. Oh, wait, what was it? No, it was Browns -3.5. I got that one right. So then we're going to Pittsburgh. I'm gonna say Browns -1.
Browns +1 at the Steelers.
I was gonna do the 4.5 point thing, but I'm like, we're coming off of 3. What are we doing? Okay.
That's why you can't have nice things, man.
Okay, I should have known better. I should have just went with my gut. Now they're home against Kansas City. This one's going to get interesting because it was 1 point for Baltimore and Cincy, which I feel is the same for Kansas City, but I feel like the market's going to just love Kansas City more so here. So I'm going to say Kansas City -2.5.
I'm going to bet this one now. Browns +3 at home against the Chiefs.
See, that is disgusting. That's not that. No.
Yeah, I'm going to bet that now.
Bet that now. Also missed it by another hook. Then they go out to Cincinnati. 4.5 point favorites. Thursday Night Football.
Browns +3.5.
See, and then it doesn't move the. It doesn't move the 4.5 points. They're -1 there, and they're -3.
They were they were +1 at home to the Bengals, so it actually only moved 2.5.
That's what I'm saying. You would think that the Bengals would go -1. You add +4.5, and maybe you're going through 3, so you say it's going to be 4.5 instead of 5.5. Instead of 5 or whatever.
Right.
And then the times that I don't do that, it does that. I don't understand these division lines, man. Home against Miami. I'm going to say Miami is a 1 point favorite.
Browns -2 at home against the Dolphins.
Oh, Browns are favorite. Okay. That's Sunday Night Football too. And then end of the year at Baltimore, that could be for the division title. Ooh, Baltimore -3. Nope, 3.5.
Browns +4.5 at the Ravens.
See, that time it moves.
Moved
Cricket?
5.5 points that time. No, moved
No,
3.5.
it moved the proper 4.5. Just like, how the hell are they both -1 in Cleveland and they're not both the same at home? It doesn't make a lick of sense to me.
Right.
But we got
Yeah.
exactly 3, right?
So yeah, that
Cash
one
the
moved
over.
3.5. Yeah, you cashed the over, man. You had you got 3 there. So
Hey, shout out, by the way. Good little birthday present from Rumble. They're taking good care of us. Look at that. They put us through up at the top. Shout out to all you guys that are new here. Welcome in. We're talking a little Cleveland Browns little preview of their season. Okay, so we got 3 right there. Now let's go take a look at the betting market. Now this is the one where I'm still baffled by this. I already bet it. Already got that in my portfolio, and that's the division odds, Cricket. And you and I both agree that, like, you don't have to make the Browns the favorite. I don't think they should be the favorite. I'm more high on the Browns, but you got Baltimore at +140 and Cincinnati at +165. You got 5-1 on Cleveland. That should not be 5-1.
Nope.
Should
Shouldn't
be
be
like
that high, man.
+225, +250 if you
It
want.
shouldn't be anything above +300 for sure.
No. And it makes me, I see this kind of stuff and I'm like, am I just way too high on the Browns? I don't think I am. I don't think they're like, I'm not sitting here pounding my chest and saying this is the year they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying this team, talent wise, is stacked.
And I think the market probably reflects a lot of people remember the Browns being historically bad, man, and doing all that. And Vegas remembers that too. So I think the market is usually always down a little bit more on the Browns than normal. You have certain teams that are like that. The Lions kind of the same way in spots. Not so much this year. We ain't got to that division yet, but yeah, I feel like they're just one of those teams that people expect them to do Browns things, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have to factor in the Deshaun Watson stuff, right? The negativity, well, one injury, but then the negativity behind him, saying that he's a huge buzz. If Deshaun Watson even comes close to being a top 10 quarterback and looking like the old Deshaun Watson, this team is going to be in the AFC Championship.
If he's even remotely close to the play he had down in Houston, man, that guy made some incredible plays back in the day. If he gets even anywhere close to that, this defense is nasty, but I don't think he's getting back to that.
No Brown slander, says Buku. This is his 3rd season in Cleveland, right? Deshaun?
Yeah, but he didn't play. He was suspended the first 11 games of that first one, and then last year was supposed to be the first full season, I believe, and injuries and then the Flacco resurgence and stuff and all that. He's a bust, dude.
2025 Super Bowl champs. That's what I like to hear, Buku. Buku's pounding his chest. If you do think he's going to be, or if they're going to make it to the Super Bowl, you can get the Cleveland Browns 22-1. That might not be a bad. Could you imagine? I might bet that. Bet that one. I bet the division, but have a little 22-1 in your pocket, and you're in the AFC Championship game. If they make it to the AFC Championship game, you got a 22-1 in your pocket. You're guaranteeing that you're going to come out profitable with a nice payday.
I was trying to look over here and see what Nick Chubb's odds for comeback player of the year are. He is 9-1 for comeback player of the year. Is what I've got.
It's so tough because they give everything to quarterbacks, but
that guy, I feel like a guy like that, man. Nick Chubb comes back out and runs for 1,300 yards. I mean, I don't know how you don't give it to that man. His leg was about broke off last year, man.
Yeah, if they win the division and he's, well, I mean, they could also give it to Deshaun Watson, comeback player of the year too, right? So it's kind of tough.
Ugh, gross.
Cleveland Browns are 40-1, Buku. Bet it now. 40-1 to win the Super Bowl. Buku would be so happy.
So happy, bro.
So happy. Well, let's take a look at their season win total for this year. Cleveland Browns are over. This one was amazing to me. I still don't get it. We looked at that schedule. That's not too bad of a schedule. I mean, they got obviously a really tough division, so they're going to be playing Cincinnati and Baltimore twice. I would expect them to split those games with them, and then they do have Cleveland, or they have
Pittsburgh,
tough one, but they also have Kansas City on their schedule. They got Miami and Philadelphia, but I don't think it's in Dallas. I don't know, man. I
mean, we just did the Ravens yesterday. I feel like the Ravens schedule looks a lot tougher than the Browns did.
Well, they got that first place schedule too. That's why. right?
Yeah.
Cleveland's got a second place schedule.
Okay, fair enough.
Cleveland over 8.5 wins at -145. I feel like that's a steal. That's a steal.
I do too. I
Now
think I'd
let's
like
look at.
Yeah, I'll total that thing up.
Now this is one where I would actually look at over 10.5 win. Over 10.5 wins at +240. That's what the division odds should be for them. But this is one where I would actually bet this and the division because, like we saw last year, they got 11 wins, but they didn't win the division. That could easily be the case again this year. So at least if you are high on them to be in contention, you get that +500 on them to win the division. You also have a +240. So if they don't end up winning the division but hit that 11 win mark again, you're looking at you're still going to come out profitable. You
Mm-hmm.
got +240 and +500 on it.
Yeah, I like that. I do.
Right.
I was trying to look and see what their stage of elimination odds were, if I can find them here. I don't see it yet. I was thinking, depends on what the odds will be set out there. What do you think? I mean, they went out of the wild card round. Like, here it is. To miss playoffs is -175. Losing the wild card round is +290. Divisional round +650. I think you just bet both of those.
What about losing the AFC Championship?
+1800. Bet all three of those.
I think you bet. Yeah, I think you bet to lose in the AFC Championship, +1800 to win the AFC title +2200. You have that, and if they make it there,
y'all locked up a huge profit.
You don't care what happens.
Yeah, it don't matter, man. Just don't even watch it. Hell with it. Count your money.
I can't remember if I bet this or not, but I'm definitely going to bet this today and add it to the portfolio. I didn't realize this. Cleveland Browns to make the playoffs +145.
Wow. It's
because everyone's so hyped up on the Bengals, and I'm anti-Bengals.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like that. If I got to pick a defense between those two teams, the Browns defense is head and shoulders above the Bengals there. And I mean, I'm sorry, but
people forget about the defensive side of the ball. They got Myles Garrett, and we forgot to talk about this. Pissant says the Browns are under the same management, aren't they? Yes, we forgot to talk about this. They brought in Mike Vrabel. They got Mike Vrabel overlooking operations there. That is not a negative. Yes, I think people are sleeping on this Browns team. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it'll come to bite me in the ass. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And this is a defensive division, a defensive-minded division. The style of play with all four of these teams and stuff, and the Bengals, in my opinion, have the worst defense of all four of those teams.
Pissant coming in with the positivity, as always, says Browns are under the same ownership, so they won't win anything.
Now those the Browns ownership is garbage, man. It's I think it Haslam and all them Pissant people. They're from down this way, man. They're big Tennessee, University of Tennessee boosters and all that stuff too. But yeah, they have kind of been a shit show up there as the owner of the Browns.
Yeah. Let's see. Don't they have oh my God. To be back-to-back coach of the year, 66-1.
They're not gonna give that to him. They'd have to win the Super Bowl for him to get that again. You know they like to spread those around, man.
Yeah, they do. Nick Chubb, you said you got 8-1. This is only +550 over here on Bet Online.
I got him at 9-1.
You got him at 9-1.
He's 9-1 over here.
He's only +550. That's why you got a line shot, people.
And then they got Deshaun Watson at, I think, 30-1.
Oh, they're gonna give it to Rodgers. It's definitely gonna go Rodgers, Burrow. Hell, even Anthony Richardson might. Daniel Jones might be a sneaky one. With the beard now?
Yeah.
Good. You know what I mean?
With the beard, I mean, I'm just saying, I can get behind that beard.
Myles Garrett, +650, Defensive Player of the Year. Probably not a bad.
I bet Beardo supports Daniel Jones more with a beard.
He absolutely does.
Absolutely.
He absolutely does. I with these Defensive Player of the Years or these awards, I unless it's something like just shocking, I usually like Myles Garrett. Probably be a good ticket to have, +650 in your pocket. I like taking, like, I took Will Anderson Jr. at the 25-1, and I also took where's he at? Where's he at? Who's the other guy I took? All these things are run together. I can't find him. Anyways, I like taking some of these guys that a little bit longer odds. That, like, Will Anderson Jr. starts coming out. I mean, he's the reigning defensive rookie of the year, right? So if he comes out, starts getting sacks, putting up the stats, I know he's not going to be at 25-1. Come December, he's going to be. No. He might not be the favorite, but he's going to be at like +400.
That's like 8-1 or worse.
Yeah.
I think you could look at you can bet the Browns to be a wild card seed at plus 275.
Ooh, that's not a bad one.
No. So if you want to
We
bet
don't have
them
to really look at rookie stuff because they didn't have that many high draft picks.
yeah, there's no need to really look at that.
MVP odds, we do have Deshaun Watson 66-1.
I ain't wasting my money on that. Did you look at Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. He was third favorite, plus 650.
Okay.
I'm saying that's probably a nice ticket to have. I don't know if I'm going to do. I like getting some of those long shots better. That's why I liked Will Anderson Jr. there.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. You could bet the Browns to be the number 1 seed in the AFC at 18-1. I don't like that one.
Yeah, number 1. That'll be tough. I feel like there's a.
I mean, you got the Chiefs and you got the Ravens and you got, there's a lot of pretty solid teams there.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at this. I'm trying to pull up my portfolio real quick and see.
Are you trying to see what you bet in that thing? Yeah, I was looking around some of these other ones, see if I had anything I really liked in this.
I bet Brian. So I took Will Anderson Jr. 25-1 and Brian Burns 40-1. Now that he's over in New York, got that nice contract. Yeah. I could see it. See it.
He got to be a little motivated anyway.
Yeah.
It's hard for those defensive linemen to, like the interior defensive lineman guys, even the edge rushers, some of them. I mean, you got to really be elite to get up there. I mean, you got to figure at Brian Burns, you got to beat out guys like Micah Parsons, TJ Watt's going to be back, all those guys. But I guess the big conversation most of the time, it's usually like a cornerback or an edge rusher, I guess, that's really in the conversation for defensive player of the year.
But he's in New York, so if he does do some like incredible things, which he can because he's Brian Burns, he's going to get the publicity on it. And at 40-1, it's one of those ones that I'm hoping that he's like one of the finalists, so I have that in my pocket. You know what I mean?
And that's a great point, man. Excuse me, y'all. You got to look at some of these guys that are in bigger markets, places like New York, LA, stuff like that. They do get a lot more pub and a lot more sports writers. People who vote on all this stuff to see that a lot more. So they just get to see those guys more, so they're stuck in their mind. So look at some of those guys for your futures awards and all that are in the bigger markets.
Dude, this is crazy. So I was looking to see if they had any Nick Chubb. They don't have any Nick Chubb ones props up. But look at Myles Garrett, over under 13.5 sacks. That is a crazy line because it's like you want to bet the under, but you don't because this guy's crazy. He's so good. He can do it. But like double-digit sacks is a great season for a defensive end, right? Yeah. But his line is set at 13.5. What a freak.
So they'll have like 2 or 3 games where he has 2+ sacks. So one game he has like 4 sacks in. So
yeah, that is crazy. Okay. Any other stat or any other bets you want to look at?
No, I believe I'm good on that. I kind of like the stage of elimination bets the best, I think, and I would go ahead and throw a little sprinkle in the Super Bowl there at 40-1. But I do like you can get them to losing the Super Bowl at 35-1.
My favorite ones are them to win the division at plus 500. I just think it's great value to have that, especially since they play Baltimore the last week of the season. If it comes down to that game and you got plus 500 on the Browns, they're not going to be plus 500 on the money line, even in Baltimore, right?
Right.
So you're going to have value there and you'll be able to hedge out of it. And I also do like, I think a 22-1 ticket on them to win the AFC. It would be great to have because if they make the playoffs, also to make the playoffs at plus 145 is a good one. But if they make the playoffs, you'll be able to hedge out of that 22-1.
Instead of betting them to make the playoffs, I like my favorite bet is going to be for them to be a wild card seed at plus 275.
There you go.
That's what I like. So if you're betting
the playoffs, our Browns 2024 preview. If you liked what you saw here, please smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel wherever you're watching, whether it's Rumble, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or you're listening to this on podcast format. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So just search for Game On Sports News and Picks. And we'll catch you guys on the next video.